Good evening. Welcome to the class that is related to center-state relations. One suggestion before beginning this particular session: if anybody is watching this video for the first time, I suggest you to watch its earlier video, meaning the video that was recorded on May 30th, 2017. So today's class is a continuation of yesterday's class. So directly we are jumping into the subject and we are discussing about the Sarkaria Commission and Punchhi Commission. But in order to understand these two commissions, understanding what exactly is the concept of center and state relations, that is important. So it was covered in the earlier class, that was yesterday's class. So I suggest you to watch that video first and followed by this video. Right. And yesterday we also covered ARC, Administrative Reforms Commission recommendations, and Rajamanar Committee recommendations. And after that comes the Sarkaria Commission, and later comes the latest one is the Punchhi Commission. And every commission is important for the purpose of examination. That's the reason why. So these two classes you must watch combinedly. Right. So now, since I have explained you the basic concepts with respect to what exactly are the problem areas between central government and state governments, straight away let me jump into the topic, and I am going to discuss with you regarding Sarkaria Commission and its recommendations. So kindly remember, whenever you come across Sarkar Commission, Sarkaria Commission, or Punchhi Commission, Rajamanar Commission, just remember one thing: these are the commissions that were established basically to look into the issues of the center and state relations. As well, that the center and state relations can be categorized into three types. One is the legislative relations, number two is the administrative relations, and number three is the financial relations. Right. And of course, there are many articles in the Constitution of India, starting from Article 245 to 263, 245 to 263. They mention about the relations between central government and state governments. So obviously, as I told you yesterday, the Constitution is tilting more towards the central government. Obviously, the states are not happy. So, right, if the states are not happy, where is the concept of federalism? That is the reason why there was a necessity to address the issues that are present between central government and the state governments. That is the reason why various commissions were established, and one such commission was Sarkaria Commission, and we are going to discuss about that. So now let me open the document straight away. Let me show you the document and we get into the discussion directly. Look at this. Sarkaria Commission. Sarkaria was the name of the chairman of that commission, and his full name was Ranjit Singh Sarkaria, and he was a retired judge of Supreme Court. The commission was set up in the year 1983 by the central government, and the purpose was to examine the relationship and balance of power between the state and central governments in the country, and also to suggest changes within the framework of the Constitution of India. Meaning, within the Constitution, you suggest something so that we can strengthen the relations between central government and state government, so that balance can be created. Otherwise, this balance is always tilting towards the central government. In order to give high respect and high importance to the states, there should be a balance, right? And for that purpose, Sarkaria Commission was set up in the year 1983. And of course, apart from the chairman, Ranjit Singh Sarkaria, there were two other members in the committee. One is the Shri B. Shivaraman, and the second one was Dr. S.R. Sen. Now, and the report was submitted in the year 1988. It submitted a huge report with 1600 pages. So whatever the extent the commission suggested the change, the recommendations were not implemented by the government. So I want you to remember one thing: wherever you come across with the word commission, wherever you uh, come across with the word commission, the recommendations of the commission are advisory in nature, and final decision will be taken by the government, meaning the recommendations are not binding in nature. And one such commission was the Sarkaria commission, and it was basically meant for giving the suggestions, and it is up to the government whether to accept the recommendations or not. That's the reason why since the beginning we saw so many commissions. So with respect to any commission, after it submitted the report with certain suggestions, either all the suggestions are accepted or all the suggestions are rejected, right? Either it is 100% accepted or 100% rejected, number one. Number two, few recommendations may be accepted and few recommendations may be rejected. Few recommendations may be accepted with certain modifications. And who is taking the ultimate decision? Ultimate decision is taken by the government. Am I clear? So please remember forever, wherever you come across with the word commission, it's always advisory in nature. So the recommendations, suggestions, or advices that is given by the commission are not binding in nature. So please remember this, right? Now, so once again, let me open the document. Kindly have a look at this. Look at this. The commissions gave suggestions like a center should consult the state before legislation on concurrent list. What is the meaning of the concurrent list? This is a common list where you got certain subjects in the concurrent list, and with respect to the subjects on the concurrent list, law can be made by either the parliament or by the state legislature. As we know that we have the seventh schedule with the three lists: union list, state list, and concurrent list. The subjects that are present in the union list is the exclusive privilege and prerogative of the central government, meaning on all the items that are present in the on all the subjects that are present in the union list, laws can be made only by the parliament and the states cannot interfere here. So this is the union list. So with respect to the state list, constitution has given the powers only to the state legislatures, wherein parliament is not expected to interfere normally. But there are certain situations where parliament can make the laws on the subjects that are present in the state list. It will happen under normal times or otherwise during the emergencies. So during emergency time, definitely the parliament will interfere and make the laws. Even under the normal circumstances also, the parliament can make the laws that are present on the subjects that are present in the state list. Meaning is simple. This is again, I'm telling you this example only to know that our constitution is more tilted towards the central government. More powers are given to the central government. And third one is the concurrent list. This is the common list. And what are all the subjects that are present in the concurrent list? The legislations can be made by either parliament or by the state legislature. And the constitution makes it very, very clear. On same subject, if both parliament and the state legislature makes a law, so there is a contradiction, there is a conflict, then obviously the law made by the parliament will prevail. Meaning again, you are giving more powers to the central government. Obviously, there is a problem. That is the reason why the commission has suggested that before parliament tries to make a law on any subject that is present in the concurrent list, intimate to the states and take the opinion of the states. So meaning, it does not mean that you will be taking the complete power, making a law and throw on the states. No, you please speak to the states. That is a recommendation that is given by. Obviously, what is happening? Before you make a law, if you speak to the states will also, the state governments will also feel happy that at least they are being consulted. It is not just making a law and throw on the face of the states. Clear? This is a recommendation that was given by Sarkaria Commission. Look at this. Right. So the commission gave suggestions like center should consult the state before legislation on concurrent list. River Water Dispute Tribunal award should be binding on the parties. Very, very important one. So today, of course, now the system is changing. Hope you must be knowing the parliament is empowered to create so many tribunals. So for settling the, this interstate water disputes, and you have so many such tribunals today in the country. And now the latest one is that the government is planning to create only one platform where all the tribunals will be clubbed and there will be only one tribunal in the future. So, this is going to happen in the nearest future. Am I clear? Right. So meaning it's not just, let's try to understand one thing is that it is not just one, two, three, four, but there were so many issues since beginning between the central government and state governments. That is the reason why the existence was not amicable, not amicable. Look at this. Now, so what are the recommendations that are given by Sarkaria Commission with respect to the appointment of the governors? Already we know a few points regarding the governor. Constitution has given certain qualifications with respect to the governor. Governor should be a citizen of India and he should have completed 35 years of age. These are the qualifications that are given, right? But who is being appointed as a governor? And the decision is taken by the President of India on the advice of the Prime Minister. Yesterday also I told you, it is the sole choice of the Prime Minister of India that who should be appointed as the governor. And obviously, because we are living in a parliamentary parliamentary form of government, so the president is listening to the advice given by the Prime Minister, and the same person is being appointed as the governor. So there is no security of tenure to the governor. Governor can be appointed at any time. Governor can be removed at any time. So reasons are not mentioned. There is no special procedure for removing the governor. Just like that, by issuing the order by the Rashtrapati Bhavan, the governor can be removed from the office very easily, right? And that is the reason why, so always there are controversies with respect to the appointment and the removal of the governors. Clear? So regarding that also, Sarkaria Commission made certain recommendations. Let's look into those recommendations. What exactly are they? Look at this. The person who is being appointed as a governor should be an eminent person. And a person should be from outside the state. That's the reason why, if you look at your state also today, let it be any state in the country. So let it be any state in the country, you have a governor. And most of the times the governor is coming from some other state. Right? So this is, of course, since the beginning, even this suggestion was made by Jawaharlal Nehru also. So when he was the Prime Minister. So, but there was a violation of this one. Violation in the sense there is nothing like any specific rule that a person belong to a particular state should not be appointed as a governor of the same state. Such rule was not there. But the suggestion was given by Jawaharlal Nehru. And it has been reiterated by the so-called Sarkaria Commission. Of course, if you look at your own governor, definitely he is from some other state only, not from your state. So this is only a practice. It's not a compulsion. It's only a practice. A tradition has been established. Look at this. And the person should not have been participated in the active politics, at least for some time before his appointment. Most of the times we see, even today also, some people who are appointed as the governors, so they are very much active in the politics till the recent past. So these are the eminent people. Right. For example, if you look at this, Nazma Heptullah, she was the minister under Narendra Modi government, and after her resignation as a minister, she has been appointed as the governor. Similarly, Maharashtra governor today, Mr. Vidyasagar Rao, and is also the in-charge governor for Tamil Nadu. And if you look at this gentleman, Mr. C.H. Vidyasagar Rao, very active person in the politics. And of course, he was a very hardcore BJP, loyalist. And even the recent elections of 2014, he contested in the elections, but he got defeated. So, but he's a prominent person within this BJP, and obviously you need to make some arrangement for him. And such type of people, such a very active person, has been appointed as the governor for Maharashtra. But the suggestion was given: the person who was very active in the politics should not be appointed as the governor, because after you become the governor, also the same active politics will continue. So that is the reason why. So in the next election, say for example in the year 2019, when the elections will be conducted, so there is every chance for Mr. CH Vidyasagar Rao to contest in the elections. So that should not happen according to the recommendations that are given by Mr. Sarkaria Commission. It is not the first time; even earlier also it happened. You must be knowing gentleman from Maharashtra, Sushil Kumar Shinde. So he was the home minister under Dr. Manmohan Singh for quite long period of time, right? So when Dr. Manmohan Singh was the prime minister, and that person, when he was very active in politics, he was appointed as the governor for Andhra Pradesh. So he served as the governor of Andhra Pradesh for a period of time. So from active politics, he became the governor. From governor, again he entered into active politics. Meaning the suggestion of not making a person as governor who is active in politics is that Raj Bhavan should not become a political center. Raj Bhavan should be a neutral center, unbiased and impartial center. Don't politicize that. That is the suggestion. But these are the live examples which are happening even today also. The Raj Bhavan is getting politicized because of the presence of the active politicians as the governors in Raj Bhavan. Right? Look at this next. A detached person and not too intimately connected with the local politics of the state. So, meaning somebody from some other state should be appointed as the governor. And a person can be appointed as the governor in consultation with the chief minister of the state, vice president of India, and the speaker of the Lok Sabha. So, this is a suggestion that was given by Sarkaria Commission, but it was not accepted. And in most of the cases, you will see that without consulting chief minister, governors are appointed at the state level, right? But it was only a suggestion given by that Sarkaria Commission, but it was an important suggestion. And with respect to the tenure of the office, how long the governor will be there? There is no guarantee. Constitution makes it very, very clear. When the governor is appointed for a period of 5 years. But the same constitution is also saying in another clause, saying that governor holds the office during the pleasure of the president. Appointed for a term of 5 years, but the governor holds office during the pleasure of the president. So then obviously there is a contradiction here. So if it is really for 5 years, so you cannot so easily remove the person from the office of the governor. But the same constitution, same article is mentioning that the governor is holding the office during the pleasure of the president. And other clause is saying if there is a contradiction between these two, pleasure of the president will dominate. Meaning it is not the term, but the pleasure of the president is dominating. That is the reason why the constitution is giving more powers to the central government for removing the governor at any point of time. That is the reason why if any person is appointed as a governor for any state for a period of 5 years, there is no guarantee. So meaning the governor is holding the office on the mercy of the prime minister. This is what is exactly happening in various states. That is the reason why whenever the government changes, irrespective of the term of the governors are asked to submit the resignation letter until and unless he and she are not accepted by the central government. So this is what was happening. It happened in 2014 also. It happened earlier also. If the same government comes to the power, then no problem. If other political party forms the government, then the problem comes up there. Clear? Then where is the security? Is it not an insult to a person to appoint as a governor and asking him to get out of the Rajbhavan immediately after a period of time? That is the reason why there is a necessity to provide some security. That is the reason why one of the recommendations is that there should be a clear cut procedure for the removal, which is not present even today also. Right? So this is what was recommended by Sarkaria Commission. Look at this. Okay. Tenure of office must be guaranteed and should not be disturbed except for extremely compelling reasons. And if any action is to be taken against him, he must be given a reasonable opportunity for showing cause against the grounds on which he is sought to be removed. In case of such termination or resignation of the governor, the government should lay before both the houses of the parliament a statement explaining the circumstances leading to such removal or resignation as the case may be. Meaning, this recommendation is asking the central government to make it clear, submit a document before the parliament and explain the parliament. If you are explaining the parliament, you are explaining the nation why you are removing a governor, why a governor is being asked to submit the resignation letter. That should be this is highlighted before the parliament. But even today also it's not happening. Look at this. After demitting the office, the person appointed as the governor should not be eligible for any other appointment or office of profit under the union or a state government except for a second term as governor or election as a vice president or the president of India. This is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful suggestion that was given by Sarkaria Commission. Hope you understood this suggestion. Of course, not accepted, but the suggestion you may write in the examination. When you are writing the main examination, you can write the suggestion and you need to mention as the Sarkaria Commission suggested. Please mention the name of the commission. The examiner will understand that you have the thorough knowledge with respect to the report of this Sarkaria Commission, because you are referring to those recommendations, right? And don't write as if these are your own suggestions. So this is one request from my side. So, and what is this? Once a person is appointed as a governor, once the term is over, say imagine 5 years are over, now he demitted the office. Either he can be appointed as a governor for the second term. Okay, very much permitted. You can appoint the same person as a governor, or allow the person to contest in the election of the vice president, or allow the person to contest in the election of the president. That's it. So except these three offices, the person should not be permitted to hold any office of profit under the union or under the state government. Let him not come back to the active politics. Let me not hold any office. For this reason, give him good pension and just leave him. Or appoint him as a governor for second term. Or allow him to contest in the election for vice president. Or allow him to contest in the election for the president. Right? But what happened to these cases? Just now I told you, Sushil Kumar Shinde, after he served as the this governor for Andhra Pradesh, again he went to the active politics. And this is going to be repeated again with respect to Maharashtra, this governors, Mr. C.H. Vidyasagar Rao. Yes, he is very active, right? And his health is fine, very good. And obviously, and he will have the interest to enter into the active politics in the year again, 2019. Let's wait and watch what is going to happen. Right? So all these recommendations are given only to see that not to politicize the office of the governor, that is Raj Bhavan. Right? Next. At the end of the tenure, reasonable post-retirement benefits should be provided. The commission felt that the state government should be given prominence in appointing the governors, and the appointment should be made from a panel to be prepared by the state legislature, or from a panel to be prepared by the state government, or invariably by the chief ministers. Right. And the commission also felt that CM should be consulted before appointing the governor. Even today, also, it is not happening. Chief Minister is not being consulted when the governor is appointed to the state. For a proper working of parliamentary system, there has to be a personal rapport between the governor and chief minister. So this is the basic thing. Chief minister and governor are the two high constitutional positions in the at the state level. Obviously, there should be a very good rapport between these two. Unfortunately, in most of the states, it is missing. The commission also recommended that Vice President of India and the Speaker of the Lok Sabha should be consulted by the Prime Minister in the selection of the governors. And such consultation, the commission felt, will greatly enhance the credibility of the selection process. But even today also, there is nothing like any credibility, and the government of the day is taking all the decisions. Next, so some of the recommendations have been adopted, such as the governor to be from outside the state, and majority of the recommendations, majority of the suggestions were not accepted. And the apex court also emphasized the urgent need for implementing Sarkaria Commission's recommendations on the selection and appointment of the governors. Apex court means Supreme Court also expressed its opinion that the recommendations of the Sarkaria Commission should be implemented. See here, after looking at these recommendations, how exactly you are feeling? These are all the issue areas that are present at the state level. And you cannot throw someone on the stage on the name of the governor, and the central government is not expected to dominate the states. But this is what exactly is happening with respect to the Raj Bhavan. And obviously, that is the reason why a general saying with respect to the office of governor is that once somebody is appointed as governor, can the governor act independently? Obviously, no. You cannot act independently because the governor knows that you are living on the mercy of the central government. That is the reason why the general saying is that governor is always expected to be a good boy of the central government. Good boy. Who is a good boy? Good boy is a boy who listen nicely to the parents. Whatever the parents, teachers are saying, you just follow the same thing. So in the same manner, the governor, honorable governor of a state, is expected to be like a good boy. You have to listen to the directions that are given by the central government. If you don't listen, good boy may become bad boy. And we don't like bad boys. And the bad boys will be remote. Hope you are following this. In civil services, you may get a question like this. Governor is expected to be like a good boy of the central government. Comment. What do you mean by this? Right? So these are all the statements that are given, and you should be able to analyze and write your answers. Clear. For this purpose, lots of reading is necessary. Right? Lots of reading is necessary, and understanding various issues at the state levels. Various state levels are very, very important. That is the reason why there is a governor at your state. Right? Governor may be there, so without any problem. Right? So for 5 years. But in some other states, the problems will be there. And the governor will be removed all of a sudden. That will become an issue. So when it becomes an issue, you have to focus more on that area. What exactly is happening? So once you start reading that issue in the newspaper or in the news analysis in the channels, TV channels, you will come across with the various recommendations of various commissions, including Sarkaria Commission. That itself will become revision for you. And you may also come across with certain new points. And those points you should be able to understand. Am I clear? This is how this is how you are expected to enhance your knowledge. Right? That's the reason why whenever any governor submits a resignation letter, or whenever any governor is removed unceremoniously, that becomes a big news. Please follow that. At least for 2 to 3 days, that is there in the news, and that 2 to 3 days, at least the media will cover larger information. So during that time, they will also mention what the constitution is saying, what the various commissions have said, what should be done, what the Supreme Court said in this particular aspect with respect to office of governor. All these become very relevant points during that time. All right. And the more you read entire constitution or any subject for that matter, maybe economy or any other subject in this format with analysis, it becomes easy for you so to score better marks in the main examination. Look at this. Next. Next one is the Punchhi Commission. The full name was Madan Mohan Punchhi, and and Punchhi was a retired Chief Justice of India, and very recently in the year 2015 he passed away, and he was given the responsibility of suggesting some things with respect to center-state relations. All right, and the committee, this Punchhi committee, was appointed in the year 2007, and the report was submitted in the year 2010. So now let's look into the recommendations that are given by this commission. Look at this. Madan Mohan Punchhi, constituted in the year 2007. See here, for any smaller examinations, small in the sense, I'm talking about RRB, like this SSC or Group 1 or Group 2. All right, so in those examinations, some small questions, beautiful questions, nicely questions are asked like this: in which year Punchhi Commission was constituted? In which year Punchhi Commission has submitted the report? Please remember these points: 2007 and 2010, right? And it has submitted 312 recommendations. So what are the references? Look at this. So this is basically meant for to examine what could be the role, responsibility, and jurisdiction of the center during the major and prolonged outbreaks of the communal violence, caste violence, or any other social conflicts. Obviously, so these are the issues that are present at the state level. So sometimes, we'll see communal violence, caste violence, or some other conflicts. During that time, what exactly should be the role of the central government? Bring back the peace into the society. How can you bring back the law and order under controls? So, right, and what should be the role of the central government with respect to taxes and the linking of the river waters? For these things, this committee was appointed. There should be, the committee expressed its opinion that there should be an amendment for articles 355 and 356. What are these articles? These are the articles that are related to the imposition of the president's rule, 355 and 356, to enable the center to bring specific trouble-torn areas under its rule for a limited period. Otherwise, what is happening under Article 356? Once the president's rule is imposed, this president rule is being imposed throughout the state, and the entire state administration is being dismissed. Administration means I am talking about the chief minister and other ministers. So they are suspended, and the complete control is taken over by the so-called the central government. But it does not mean that the problem is present in the entire state. Problem may be there in some part of the state. That is the reason why this commission has suggested that make some amendments to these articles so that only the problem torn area will be taken over by the central government, and the rest of the state, normally the state government should be allowed to administer. So this is the recommendation that was given. But unfortunately, what is happening, whatever may be the problem, once you invoke Article 356, the president's rule is being implemented in the entire state. Clear? If it is a failure of the constitutional machinery, that's okay. But with respect to small area, you take control over that area and you don't disturb the entire state. That recommendation was given by Punchhi Commission. What happened to this? No, it's not accepted. Next. Commission has proposed localizing emergency provisions under Article 355 and 356, contending that localized areas, either a district or a part of the district, be brought under governor's rule instead of the whole state. This is what I said. The problem may be there in a district. Communal violence may be there in a district. Caste violence may be there in a district. Social conflicts are happening in a district. Concentrate only there and get that under your control. Don't disturb the entire state. Don't impose president's rule in the entire state. It's a recommendation. So, to make an amendment in the communal violence bill to allow the deployment of the central forces without state consent for a short period, right? Make some changes. If the states are not accepting, also for a short period, you can deploy your central forces. It has proposed that the state consent should not become a hurdle in the deployment of the central forces in a communal configuration. However, such a deployment should only be for a week and post facto consent should be taken from the state. See here, whenever certain disturbances are happening at the state level, it is the responsibility of the state government to control the situation and to bring back the normalcy. But sometimes what may happen, the state police may fail to restore the normalcy back. Obviously, you need the support of the central forces. Generally, in federation, what happens? The chief minister and his cabinet will sit together. They take a decision because our forces are not sufficient. Let's request the central government to send their forces. And after cabinet passes a resolution, you will be requesting the central government, meaning you will be requesting the home ministry. Obviously, the home minister at the central level will have a discussion, the cabinet headed by the prime minister. They take a decision, and finally the central forces will be deployed in a state. How much time you are taking for this? It may be taking 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, or 1 week. So for this 1 week, what happens to the situation in the state? So we may be losing some lives. We may be losing lots of property. For this reason, what happened? If the central government is really convinced that the situation is very sensitive, go for the deployment. You don't wait for the consent of the states and deploy your forces, because the ultimate aim is to protect the life of the people. Otherwise, some more people may die. And this recommendation was given by Punchhi Commission. But even today also, what is happening? Clear? But how long it should happen? The Punchhi Commission recommended that it should be there only for a period of 1 week. Beyond 1 week, if you still want to continue the deployment of the forces, then state government permission is a must. Clear? Am I clear? So these are all the conflicting areas, in fact. And what the states will say? How can you deploy your forces into my state without my permission? If you are deploying your forces into my area, is it not the violation of the concept of federation? Hope you are understanding this. So these are all the very sensitive areas. You should be able to link this. Clear? And once you start reading like this, your preparation for civil services will become much easier. That is the reason why. So you need to have thorough understanding of the basic concepts of all the subjects. So once you are thorough with that, you can play with the whole concepts. That is the reason why generally for anyone who is preparing for any examination, you need to allocate complete 1 year. And for the examinations like the civil services, you need to allocate at least, this is 2 years. It's a very long examination. Clear? Notification, preliminary examination, main examination, interview, it will take almost 1.5 years to 2 years. So for this continuous 18 months to 24 months, you should be able to dedicate. Anybody who dedicates, you will make it. That's it. And this is the story of all the people who are successful now. Look at this. Among the significant suggestions made by the commission is laying down the clear guidelines for the appointment of the chief ministers, upholding the view that a pre-poll alliance should be treated as one political party. It lays down the order of precedence that ought to be followed by the governor in case of a hung house. See here, you must have heard about the concept of hung parliament. Hung parliament is a parliament where no political party gets a clear-cut majority. In order to form the government at the central level, you need to have minimum 272 members in your political party. All right, I'm taking only 543 to consideration because two nominated members will be coming up later. That's the reason why in the Lok Sabha I have 543 members and 543 constituencies elections are conducted. And in that one, you need to have at least 272 members support to form the government. If no political party gets a majority, that is called hung parliament. The same situation may also happen. It happened in so many states. This is called the hung house. Hung house or hung assembly is that assembly where no political party has got the clear cut majority. Then what should be done? So this is the place where the role of the governor will come into the picture. Can the governor appoint anybody as the chief minister? Can the governor appoint this a single largest party leader as the chief minister? Or should you take the coalition into consideration? Coalition may be of two types: pre-poll alliance and post-poll alliance. Some political parties will come together. Look at what is called Bihar. Lalu Prasad Yadav and Nitish Kumar, they have come together before the elections. That is called pre-poll alliance. And sometimes, in some states, what will happen, like in Maharashtra, so the two political parties will come together after the elections. That is called post-poll alliance. So in this case, the role of the governor should be very clear. And governor is expected to take a brilliant decision where he should be able to provide the stable government. Stable government is a government which will continue for a long period of time. It is not just making a person as a chief minister and asking him to step down after 10 days or 15 days. Hope you are following this one. That is the reason why the committee has suggested what the governor should do in case of a hung assembly. Have a look at this. Look at this. Right. It said that call the group with the largest pre-poll alliance commanding the largest number. Pre-poll alliance group must be called first. Then the single largest party with the support of others. Post-electoral coalition with all the parties joining the government. And the last, the post-electoral alliance with some parties joining the government and the remaining, including the independent members supporting from outside. So these are all the various recommendations that are given, right? That is the reason why, just because when I say coalition, it does not mean that all the political parties will be joining the government. Some political parties will join the government. Some political parties give the support from outside. Sometimes the independent members will be giving support from outside. So governor has to make a priority, and accordingly, governor is expected to invite those political parties to form the government. Look at this. As for the qualifications for the governor, Punchhi Commission suggested that the nominee not have been participated in the active politics at even local level for at least a couple of years before his appointment. Meaning, whenever you are appointing somebody as a governor, see that that person is not active in the politics, even at the local level, at least for the last 2 years. And that person should be appointed as the governor for a state. It also agrees agrees with the Sarkaria Commission recommendation that the governor be an eminent person and should not belong to the state. See here, this is the recommendation originally given by Sarkaria Commission. Again, it was reiterated by Punchhi Commission. Okay, look at this next. The commission also criticizes the arbitrary dismissal of the governors, saying that the practice of treating governors as political footballs must be stopped. Look at the statements, meaning governors are being treated like footballs. So whenever you want, you are pushing them, you are kicking the ball into the goalpost. Otherwise, you are kicking it outside. Stop it. Stop using the governors as the political footballs. And fixed 5 years of tenure, as well as their removal only through impeachment by the state assembly. right? So today, if you look at the president of India, of course no president was impeached so far, but you cannot remove the president just like that. You need to follow a procedure as mentioned in the constitution, that is called impeachment. Just like the impeachment of the president, similar type of procedure should be adopted at the state level for removing the governor, meaning amend the constitution, add impeachment procedure for removing the governor, right? Of course, this recommendation was made, not accepted by the government. That's the reason why even today also the governors are being treated as footballs. Look at this. It also recommended that the state chief minister should have a say in the appointment of the governors. And for the National Integration Council, the Commission has proposed that it should meet at least once a year. So this is a non-statutory body, National Integration Council. Sometimes it is active, sometimes it is not active. That all depends on the interest of the Prime Minister. But the Commission has recommended that it should meet at least once every year. Right. So this is the topic with respect to center state relations. And again, I'm telling you, in order to understand today's class, you must watch yesterday's video, May 30th and May 31st, 2017. These two videos must be watched together for better understanding. Clear? And here we understood what are the various issue areas between central government and state governments. What are the various commissions that were appointed? What were the recommendations that were given by, these various commissions? Every recommendation is important, right? And tomorrow I'll be uploading this document, and you may please go through all the recommendations and be thorough with this, right? And I hope that you properly understood this particular area. Fine. So these are all the critical areas you should be paying lots of attention. Clear? And I'll stop at this stage, and I thank you so much for being with me this evening, and I wish you all a very, very good luck, and I'll see you in the next class with more issues. Thank you so much.